Hi there.
Hi, welcome back to Curious Collection. I'm Will.
I'm Cinnamon.
We were talking about how eBay sometimes feels like we are in an emotionally abusive relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so it prompted us to do a little bit of research, and we found a blog post from Annis and Vercologne law firm that has 10 signs of an emotionally abusive relationship. And I'm telling you, this thing writes itself. And now I do not want to minimize if you are in an abusive relationship, get help. There are resources out there. A simple Google search, you can get phone numbers. There's shelters. There's all sorts of stuff. So please do not mistake us as minimizing bad relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But from a reseller's perspective, eBay is a really bad abusive partner.
It really is.
As far as this list is concerned. So first of all, 10 signs. Number one, they try to control you. This is obvious for anyone who's sold on this platform or really any other for any amount of time. And that, to begin with, there are a set of legal requrequirements on us as individuals when we are going to sell things. And I think we all acknowledge that.
Right. We get that. There's laws in place and that's fine. I don't want to ship toxic substances. Totally get that. I understand ivory is not something that you're allowed to ship. No problems there. I am totally okay with abiding by the law, but it's that extra that they do that, certainly is incredibly controlling.
Right. Yeah. There's certainly overstepping bounds in a variety of ways, dictating your behavior on the platform, what you can and cannot do. And it really is abusive. So the next thing is that they isolate you from your support network. Now, you'd say, well, I can go talk to somebody else. But the reality is, if you need to get help, you need to talk to a customer service representative. It's nearly impossible. Mm-hmm. It's nearly impossible. You have to talk to a chatbot. You have to explain your situation. They're going to attempt to refer you to hundreds of pages of documentation rather than just talk to you about your problem and helping you resolve that issue. Mm-hmm. They make you insecure.
Who has not been totally insecure when it comes to eBay? Who hasn't looked at themselves or been told in the comments section, oh, well, your items just suck. It's you. It's not them. It's you. You just don't list enough. You just don't have good enough items. You just don't have a good enough sales rate. You just don't have, it's you. It's not them.
Right. And this actually, we actually had somebody in our comment section make the comment that, oh, well, everything you talk about is based on purely assumptions. There's no proof. Yes.
That's the point.
We're all left in a position where we have to make wild assumptions about what our behavior should be because there is not clear communication. There's how many people out there, you can hold your hand up, believe that you have to list every day in order to get sales on eBay.
Has eBay ever said that?
No, they actually say the opposite, that you don't need to list every day, but yet this myth continues. Why? Because if you don't list every day, you don't get sales. Mm-hmm.
Right, because they're doing everything within their power to make sure that you feel insecure so that you just keep feeding the machine.
Right. Right. They're unpredictable. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had, in the last, forever, we've had 0 sales days. We've had some days that are $1,500.
Right.
And you could have 2 of those days back to back. You could have them in the same week. You could have 6, 7, 8 days straight with 0 sales.
You can't ever enjoy a good sales day because if you have a good sales day, they're going to take it away from you the next day. You're going to have a crap day because they can't let you just ride a high. No. Yeah. If you're having a good day, they're going to just you wait. They're going to have a $45 day the next day.
Right.
It really is. It's a lot.
We saw that over the weekend, right? Mm-hmm. So sales have been relatively light, but again, like things
we
are
know
unpredictable.
it's the season.
The economy
it's
is
hard.
changing.
Right.
So the big first weekend of the month was tremendous for us.
Mm-hmm.
We had done a $700 day and a $500 day back to back. Absolutely amazing. This past weekend, we struggled to break over $200 each day.
Yeah.
And the one day we had sold 9 pieces of jewelry. Mm-hmm. The next day we sold 1 piece of jewelry.
Right, because they're like, days, oh, nope, just postcards for you now.
Right. I was going to say most days we sell 1 or 2 postcards. Over the weekend, I think we sold 15.
Yeah.
So you just don't know. You're constantly in this state of, should I be listing postcards? Should I be listing jewelry? Should I be, standing on my head? Should I be listing 40 items a day? Who knows? Because
they're not going to tell you, and they're going to make sure that it is just all over the place.
Right. The next thing on this list, number 5, their needs are always prioritized above your needs.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Their fees, their final value fees are going to increase, because their needs are more important. They need to make their numbers. So that's what's most important, not taking care of their sellers. No. It's all about their numbers. And if they can't get it through sales, they're going to get it through increasing their fees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Growing a customer base would be another way to get those numbers met, and yet they just refuse to do that because it's more important to them that they just collect more money.
Yep.
So, that again, this writes itself. You really don't have to think hard to come up with the behavior that fills in the blank. And I guarantee that there's a lot more here that other people have. Mm-hmm. This was just the first thing that popped into our heads.
Yeah.
Number 6 is they keep you in the house. So in a relationship, obviously this would be clear, but on eBay, you might be going, well, what are you talking about? Well, they're the biggest dog in the yard. You can't leave.
Right.
You're stuck. You are stuck in this situation.
Sure, you can try to go to, Etsy or
Sure, I see people all the time. Oh, you should be selling on this other platform. I make more money on this other platform per transaction, but I don't get a lot of transactions. I don't get a lot of sales. But, Poshmark's good, but I don't sell much.
And again, he sells ephemera. There is no other place. Yes, I could probably sell some of my jewelry on Poshmark or something, but he's not going to sell his ephemera on any other marketplace other than, aside from like maybe a super, super specialized postcard platform or something like that. But again, you're still not going to get those same numbers that you're going to get from eBay. So they really do kind of have you cornered in.
Absolutely. And if you're an everything seller, then you're, if you wanted to attempt to go somewhere else,
again,
then you're talking about cross-listing across, multiple platforms in order to try to find a home for all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
You have no privacy. None.
No, because not only can they read all of your messages, all of your emails back and forth with your customers and everything. They know they know
every item that you've transacted. They know the shipping method that you've used to ship every item.
So if you use media mail, they're aware and they can hit you on that if they want to. And then there's the giving out your home address as well, is part of the talks right now. So
no, it's law.
Is it?
It's the law now that if you are selling on one of these platforms, that platform has the right to turn over your personal information to your customer in communications. So your customer now has your home address as well. You can opt out of that, but unless you've actively gone in and changed those settings and said, I am an individual, this is my home address, please don't give it away, they'll do it. So the next thing is number 8. They withdraw or withhold affection. Talk about those 0 sales days.
Right. Yeah. The 0 sales days, the capped growth, well, you're only allowed to grow, and again, we don't know these things for sure because they don't make things clear to you,
But you do know they have talked about the fact that there is capped growth. There is not a true capitalistic society, you come out, you do a great job, you put up 100 listings, you're going to get a fair shake at selling all 100 items in a day. The reality is that if you listed those 100 items and you sold them all in a day, tomorrow on eBay, you're not going to get that traffic. You're not going to get an attempt. I've had items that I've listed. I bought 100 cases of cough syrup. I priced them at the best price in the market. And the reality is that I went a month straight with the best price in the market, the best shipping rate, and was not able to move a single unit. I promoted. I paid the pay per cost on clicks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was trying to do everything to move this product, could not get any traffic. I had them listed for 3 months, and then all of a sudden it was a tidal wave and everything sold out within 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Completely controlled.
Yeah.
Having the best price should have put me in the best position, but it did not. Paying the most advertising should have got me the best positioning. It did not.
It hurts, don't it? Oh, they preemptively forgive you. So why don't you explain what that means?
Right. So in an abusive relationship, there's an infraction in the relationship. You may not have done anything wrong, and the person's going to oh, I know you didn't mean to do this, but you really ticked me off because of this thing that you did that you didn't actually do.
Right. You didn't actually do anything wrong, but they're telling you, oh, well, I'm going to be the bigger person here. I'm going to forgive you for your transgressions, which is exactly what eBay does to you with these banned items, right? So we've done this video.
Again, it's important to follow the law. We agree with following the law. We do not want to follow the law. And again, we admit openly, we do not know what every law is. But when you do learn what those laws are, when you do learn about banned and prohibited items.
Right. And then you know better, you do better. Right? So that's exactly what we do. But eBay still is like, oh, well, that cream colored enamel bracelet that you put out, we're going to go ahead and take that down, and we're going to give you a strike. And if you get too many of these strikes, then we're going to go ahead and punish you, even though we didn't actually do anything wrong.
Right. But it's just a warning.
Right. Yeah. We're going to be the bigger person, and we took it down for you. We're just going to let it go
as a warning.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The license plate that we talked to you guys about a couple of weeks ago, that was a novelty plate, and yet they insisted that it was a state issued plate and that we didn't mark that it was expired, and then reached out to customer service and didn't get a response. And then even when you talk to customer service, when you finally get to that point, oh, well, we understand, don't do it in the future. Excuse me, don't do what?
What did I do
didn't
wrong?
do anything wrong.
But we're going to forgive you this time.
Right. So number 10 on our list is they shame you. So this should be pretty obvious, whether, in a personal relationship, it's, the way your grooming, or, your weight, or, something along those lines would be very
They make
clear.
sure to say something negative to you in front of other people so that other people can see just how bad you are.
Right. This sounds very familiar.
Maybe some negative feedback that is totally unwarranted, and it doesn't matter because, they should totally be allowed to leave negative feedback about your shipping cost or your shipping, when it's not you give them the same price that you're being given. But if they want to leave negative feedback, then they're allowed to if they want to.
So again, that feedback process can be abusive, and it can be abused. And even though it's against eBay's policy to not permit abusive language, it doesn't mean that the process can't be abused and that it's not being actively used to abuse
Sure.
sellers. You know, I've heard of sellers that say this other seller bought an item from me just to leave me negative feedback.
Mhm.
I've heard of people with YouTube channels that say, hey, somebody bought something from me. I know that it's them because they've left me stuff on my YouTube account being slanderous, being aggressive,
Mhm.
saying negative things. They went to my store, bought something, and then they left me negative feedback.
Right.
On my
Before
store
they
too.
even received the item, they're leaving negative
Right.
feedback. You
And-
know, that
and
should be a big
eBay-
red flag. And eBay doesn't care.
Right. I'm saying eBay's not doing anything about
Nope.
protecting the seller. They're not putting you first. They're not prioritizing you. They're not even partners.
Right.
Right. So the one of the signs of I would say of a good relationship is that you're equals.
Mhm.
Right. There is no way in this scenario that eBay would allow you to be equal to them.
No, not at all. I mean, the thing is, it's just, it's so frustrating. And I mean, we make videos all the time talking about how, like, yes, it's frustrating, but this is the way of the world, and you still have to get stuff done, you know, but I feel like occasionally we can have a video where we can just
I think it's important to not have that Pollyanna attitude that
Mhm.
it's just the way it is. You know, I had posted up a video the other day about, you know, what do you do if, you know, your partner is ill? You know, you got to take care of yourself. You need to prioritize yourself and your care. And, you know, I have people giving me feedback. Well, eBay sucks, but I'm going to keep selling on the platform until it dies. What?
And
like,
and I mean, honestly, like, we are too. We're branching out. We're doing other things because eBay isn't, like, we're starting to get those contingency plans, right? Like, we're starting to have
Right.
an emergency bag packed, right?
Right. And you know, it is important in business to recognize that you cannot be fully dependent on one customer. And that's
Mhm.
really what we're talking about, is the fact that eBay is the only customer. So we have to diversify against that. We have to say, hey, you know what? If you have a bad day, if they change the algorithm one bit and they decide to deprioritize the items that you're selling,
Yeah.
then what do you do? You know, are you left outside of the house?
Right.
Are
Because
you-
they make all their decisions without any input from us,
right.
you know?
Right.
And then they try to gaslight you and, like, no, this is magical. You're gonna love this. This is wonderful.
Yeah.
It's the best thing that's ever happened.
I love that the corporate speak. Every time there's a press release, it's corporate speak, and it's soft language, right? It's very mealy mouthed. It doesn't mean anything.
Mhm.
It's just
So
corporate
that you
jargon.
can't hold them accountable to
Right.
anything.
Right.
Because they never actually made any promises to you. They never told you that they were going to change their behaviors
Right.
for the
So
better.
again, magical innovation is, you know, an AI bot that takes your item specifics and puts them into a sentence. I'm sorry, that's not magical to me, and I'm not 12 years old. I don't believe in magic. You know, you did something that's very basic, and now you're promising the world out of it. That doesn't work, and it doesn't work for the buyers either. Let's be clear: when you have disgruntled, upset sellers that are then put in a position where their more capital is being extracted from their wallet, they have no other choice but to pass that on to the buyer, who's then also disgruntled with the situation. They then go out, they choose a different platform.
Right.
We've talked about it before, and that, you know, when it comes to packaging, 95% of our packaging comes from our local guy or from Amazon.
Yeah. And it's not because we don't try eBay first.
Right.
We do. But the platform fees are so much more expensive on eBay that the people who are selling on eBay have to eat that cost. They can't just, or they have to pass on that cost. They can't just eat it. I mean,
right.
And-
If you want proper placement, you have to be promoting, is the perception. And then, you know, if you had a great item and you had a good price, well, now you're paying all those fees, and now it's not a great deal anymore. so the reality is that we end up going to a different platform, or we go in and buy it from the local guy because, again, all of these costs are getting passed through to the customer. So that's our thoughts on the day. And, if you've got some of these, some more ideas about how abusive eBay is, and they fit into these categories, why don't you let us know in the comments section if we are completely off base and you think that this is a love fest and that eBay is just
a healthy, wonderful. They have great boundaries.
Yes.
They're they listen to you.
If they are the most adoring lover, please let us know in the comment section.
All right, thanks so much. We appreciate you guys. Good luck to you out there.
Like and subscribe.